Hey everyone, it's Andrew. So I'm super excited about a series of videos I have coming up about upgrading my current desk setup to a new desk setup to accommodate for the new MacBook Pro M1 model. Um, Essentially, I've got both of them here, but previously I had the MacBook Pro Mid-2012 model. I had this ever since grad school. It traveled with me all through grad school, med school, and into residency, and I use this every day. But recently what happened was the screen connection here got loose, and what I suspect is the cable within this is frayed in some way or disconnecting in some way where it's not reliable, and the screen will go out and then the computer will automatically crash. So it's not fully non-functional at this point, but with the work I kind of do, I really need it to be reliable. So I ended up purchasing a brand new 13-inch MacBook Pro M1 model with the 16 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte of memory, and that's what I kind of went with based on my experience with this, like my old MacBook Pro. I love this thing, and so I thought it's reliable, and the fact that I never really had issues, I ended up going with Apple again. The one drawback on this is that it only comes with 2 USB-C Thunderbolt ports, and so you're limited with what you can plug into this. And so when you're thinking about setting up a desktop, the issue you run into is the power cable connects into one, and then it only leaves you one other port. So the options you have to address this are kind of these hub adapters, which essentially plug into this other port and have a series of ports attached to it, so you can plug in like additional USBs, HDMI, display ports, that sort of thing. But I've read a lot of reviews about them either damaging the computer or not really functioning to what you want. Because some of these ports have power adapters into them or built into them where it can charge the computer. So you essentially put the charging cable into the hub adapter and then plug it into here. But sometimes there are reports of it breaking the computer for some reason. I don't know if that's true or not, but it just scared me enough to shy me away from those hub ports. So I didn't want that, and that kind of pushed me off that direction to begin with. The other option is kind of these dock stations. Anker makes a model, CalDigit does. There's several variations of these. They essentially kind of sit on your desk. They've got a bunch of ports that can plug into the wall, and that seems like the best option. I really play with the idea of actually getting the CalDigit TS3 Plus. It seemed to encompass everything that I wanted and needed. But the cost was substantially high. So at the time I looked, it was roughly $270 for the CalDigit Plus. And for me, I was really interested in getting a monitor. And so the cost of $270 plus a monitor was really above my price range. And so I ended up going with, they're coming out with monitors that have USB-C capability and Thunderbolt capability. It's a relatively new technology as far as being incorporated into the monitors, but I think kind of we're moving in that direction. And so I ended up getting a monitor that has Thunderbolt capability so that I can plug directly into the monitor rather than these docking stations. So my hope is that by buying one of these monitors, I don't need a docking station whatsoever. It has the necessary ports I need, and then I essentially don't have to eat that cost of the docking station in addition to everything else, and essentially use the monitor as my docking station. So that's what I kind of ended up deciding on, and I'll kind of walk you through everything I purchased, why I purchased it, the rationale behind it, comparisons of what alternatives I looked at, and why I ended up purchasing what I wanted to do. But to kick this off, I first want to just show you my current setup with my desk, and then kind of what it's going to become after I add everything onto it and kind of get rid of some other things. So let's get started.